Weekdays on the Legend, WDXE.
That's us, the Legend WDXE, and we are now live on Facebook and YouTube with Keith Durham, the Keith Durham Hour.
That might or might not be a good thing.
Keith Durham Hour, buddy. The mic is all yours. You need to introduce all you.
I need to introduce everybody that's here with us. We got some great special guests with us. Well, we've got Bethany Nelson. Is that right? She's here. She's here with us, and Cheryl Augustine is here with us.
That's
and
right.
They are from the Lawrenceburg Community Theater, and which is near and dear to my heart. I used to be a part of the Lawrenceburg Community Theater for.
Don't worry about it.
And Kevin is
No,
here.
that's fine.
We all know that.
I missed one time.
Sorry.
And I'm out. See.
Yeah, that's it. Now, Kevin is always with me, so anytime you see me, Kevin's going to be here.
That's
so,
right. We hang out all the time.
I didn't introduce myself either, so but
Who are you?
I don't know. We're going to
Big Biscuits D Durham? Or?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on at the Lawrenceburg Community Theater, because there's something that's going on that's coming up in the next couple of weeks that probably hasn't been done for 40 years. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh,
Our
my
last
goodness.
show, Fiddler on the Roof, was in 1982. And it was not anywhere near Crockett Theater, but it was at Crockett Park, David Crockett Park, in the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And this year we're bringing it to the big stage at the historic Crockett Theater, which I love because we're so blessed to have that facility in our community.
Right, and you can do it rain or shine there too.
That's right.
So
You
that's
don't
the
have
good
to worry
part.
about the weather. Yes.
And the dressing rooms are pretty close to the end of the stage.
They are.
You know?
You don't have to go in a camper out back and change clothes. That's true. That's true. We've done that before.
Or walk down the
Run
path.
around in a rainstorm.
Or put out sawdust before
Yeah.
the show because it's just come a terrible
Oh,
rainstorm.
me,
Yeah.
or help everybody back up the steps when the show's over. And there was a lot of things. The
Yes.
amphitheater brought its own issues, but it was great, though. I remember those times. It was
Yes.
great.
Were you part of that in 1980?
I was not. I was dinner theater. I was around.
You were around.
Yeah. I did
You
lots of.
12 yet?
Yeah, I was like a sophomore in high school. I almost had my license.
Oh, wow.
So I
knew
might have my license. I'm trying to think when that was. It was the year I got my license, I think. So
Yeah.
that was a good year, as a matter of fact. 1982 was the year after the space shuttle blew up. I mean, that's a horrible thing to happen. I'm just thinking about things in history. But we're talking about good things today at the Lawrenceburg Community
Right,
Theater.
right.
So Fiddler on the Roof, what made you decide Fiddler on the Roof? Who came up with the idea? I gotta get to the bottom of this because I think it's great.
Well, Bob and Joey and Cindy and myself went to see it a few years ago at TPAC, and we said we remembered how much we loved the show. We'd seen it probably 30 years ago at TPAC and remembered how much we loved the show, and we said we should do that in Lawrenceburg. So that became okay, well, let's do that in Lawrenceburg. Let's see what it takes to bring that to Lawrenceburg. And we honestly tried to do it last year, and we could not get the rights to it. You have to buy the publishing rights, and if it's within a 300-mile radius, they will not let you have the rights to do it. So I guess since everything had been shut down in COVID the few years before, a lot of people were bringing their theater groups back, and a lot of people wanted to do Fiddler on the Roof because it's one of America's most beloved shows.
Sure.
So we tried to do it last year, could not get the rights, put in our name early this year, and we actually did get permission to do it for this season.
Oh, that's
so
exciting.
we're so excited.
So I was surprised to find out that the casting for this show took place earlier this year, like at Easter, somewhere around Easter or before
It
Easter.
was. We wanted to catch a lot of college students, right, Bethany?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We wanted to start early. The earlier, the better, because
Yeah,
it takes
always.
a lot. It takes a village to pull off these shows.
Sure.
So as soon as you can get your cast together, then you can start production. And so, yeah, catching, some of the college students, while
Who
they're
were home
maybe
on
home from school.
Easter break, yeah.
And they're going to be home for summer. We have a lot of younger people in the community that will come home for the summer and come be in one of our shows.
So what auditions look like? I know they've changed since I've been a part of them, but what do the auditions look like? So especially for a show like Fiddler on the Roof, do you look for somebody that can sing or what? I mean,
Well,
obviously
it is
there's a lot
musical.
of it is a musical.
It is a musical.
That's right.
So one of the requirements would be that you were able to sing. Not everybody has a singing solo. Not everybody has to sing, but more than likely you're going to.
Yeah.
If you're in a musical, you're probably going to be on stage and singing.
Yeah.
Then we had, because this one has some movement to do it. We had people just to see what their ability was to dance or not dance. Yeah. And we even had some people that couldn't dance, and that's fine. Some of them were cast in the show as well. But with our choreographer, if you can move your feet, she's going to get you on stage and make you have fun.
Well,
you're
good.
going to have fun being in the show, and you're going to enjoy it, and she's going to teach you something that you didn't know you could do.
You know, you brought up a good point there, because I think that's what it's all about. You can tell when a cast is having a good time. You know, you don't have to necessarily. I mean, I can't tell when a cast member has lost their cue or lost their line as much as you can tell.
That means you're doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's one of the greatest things about stage. You know, it's live. You can't do anything but move forward. You know, and
The show
so
must go on.
part of the skill is being able to ad lib. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, because everything on the stage is cued. Everything on the next person's line is cued. Maybe the piece of music is cued, or maybe a sound happens and that cues somebody else to do something. And when one of those things don't happen, somebody's got to pick up and go with it.
Yes.
And and you know, I got a closet view of that for many years. And I
was in that closet a couple of times doing lives, not with you, but I was in the closet doing lives. Yeah.
So we talked about that yesterday. I don't know if you remember this, but one of the things I remember at the dinner theater is that I wouldn't eat during the regular time, because we served people. You remember
We did.
we
served. That was
served.
part of the plan.
But I used to get Jeff, you'd enjoy this, because I used to get a plate load of chicken fingers. I mean, David Crockett State Park had the best chicken fingers in town.
Yeah, they did.
And
they did.
so I would get and this is horrible to say, Bethany, but Cheryl can attest to it. I got a plate load of chicken fingers and a drink, and I just locked myself in
Yeah,
the
because
closet.
you were in that closet
Yeah.
for like 2.5 hours.
It's like 800 degrees in there. So,
But now I think they fixed it where during our shows you don't have to be in the closet anymore.
right, it's probably all electronic and everything.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little-
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Is why were you in the closet?
Because all the light switches were in the closet. See, these were like light switches on the wall. Like you walk in a room and flip on a light switch. That's the way it was back in those days. And they had a reel-to-reel tape. And so I would have to turn the speakers off, put some headphones on, and cue up and go, you know, on the reel-to-reel and get to the next cue. And sometimes you had to do it, I mean, and get there quick. So anyway.
I never got to do the reel to reel. I just flipped the light switches.
Oh, okay,
Our
yeah.
light switches were actually on and off in those
Very
days. You
important
didn't have,
job.
So
I'm
what I
just
could be
very
trusted
thankful
with.
that things have changed a
Changed.
little bit.
Yeah. Well, I've got one request. Bob and I talked about this a little bit. He says that you guys are bringing back A Bad Year for Tomatoes.
We are.
And I was in that production, and during that production, as the sound guy, I got to play Homegrown Tomatoes over and over and over again, even to the point where people in the audience were saying, turn off that music. Turn it off. They're at wit's end, which was good. You know, you want to bring them to the edge of their seat and then turn it off, and then all the actors go on stage. It's awesome.
We are. Actually, it's coming back this fall.
Okay, good.
We'll be doing a dinner theater. It'll be directed by Dolly Layton. We haven't done a dinner theater in a year now. I was in
Yeah.
the last one that we did
That-A-Way
last
Jack was the
summer.
last
It was
one.
That-A-Way Jack.
Yeah.
And the park restaurant was going through some renovations and some things, and then they didn't. But now they're ready to have us back. So, and we're ready to be back. We
Yeah,
love those
absolutely.
little dinner theaters. I mean, as much as we love being on the big stage and all that entails, the little dinner theaters are so special.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, you're right up and close and personal with everybody.
Oh, yeah,
So
you're-
I
You're-
had to
You
be in
have
the
to
first
kinda be on
dinner
your
theater.
game.
That's how old I am. I was in the very first dinner theater.
Are you
that we
serious?
did.
What was
Yes,
it?
It was Barefoot in the Park.
Okay.
It was Barefoot in the Park, probably
Wow.
about 78 or 79. I can't
Wow.
remember. I was in college. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And we used to pack in so many people in there. And we had groups from Florence and Columbia and all around that came to watch the dinner theater. And we've gotten some of those back.
Right.
So,
Well, you know, one thing I like about theater, and especially local theater, is it showcases the local talent. Now, you guys might can talk about that a little bit, but I'm sure that most of the people, or almost all the folks in this production of Fiddler on the Roof, are local folks, right?
Yes.
They are. We can almost guarantee that you have a friend or an acquaintance or a family member that is in this show. We have 47 in the cast.
Oh, wow.
And that's not counting our crew. So some of the people that we have in it that we want to talk about the cast this morning are Matt Chambliss, or Turtle as he's known, is our fiddler.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he's perfect for the role. We have Beth Lerner and Clara Lerner are playing mother and daughter in the show. Beth is Golda, and Clara is one of the daughters. We have Tabitha Stedman, we have Cord Perry, and Dave Ray. And if you've never heard those two guys sing, you're really in for a
Oh,
treat.
wow.
Did you know that Dave Ray can sing?
I did not, so I'm going just for
Has
that.
An
Excellent
amazing
singer.
voice. He has an amazing voice. We have Philippe Fontenot. We have Manny Longfoot. We have Patrick Hughes. We have Kenneth and Sally Cultus.
Oh,
we have
yeah.
some people that haven't done some shows in a while, and we have some newcomers to the stage too this year. Some that have never done a show. And like we said, there's 47 in the cast, so you're guaranteed that you're probably going to know somebody that's on stage. Bethany Nelson is in the show.
Yes, I am.
She's the famous Fruma Sarah.
Yes. Bruma Sarah.
You're a ghost, right?
I'm a ghost, and I'm not just any ghost. She's kind of wild and crazy.
I mean,
This is right up my alley.
did they
It's really
typecast
great.
that for you? I mean, it's like, let's
Maybe.
call
I'll
Bethany
leave
and
that
see
one
if
to
she'll do
Cheryl.
this.
It had to have a great ability to run around the stage and be wild and crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's such a fun role, and I get to dress up and wear fun makeup and
Well,
come
that's
in and do
cool.
some cool stuff. So it's really a fun part, and I get to do a lot with Bob, and so we just kind of get to have fun together.
You know, and that's what it's all about. That's
Oh,
what it's all
yeah.
about. You know, we sort of got our audience hyped up on the show a little bit. Tell us when it is.
Oh,
because
that's very
we want to go.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean,
It's
we're
coming
on
soon.
crunch time.
We're on crunch time. What does that mean?
Crunch time. That means we're opening in just over a week. That'll be next Friday, July 7th.
Okay.
We'll opening night will be 7:00 p.m. and the doors will open at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online. We recommend you purchase them online, but if you can't and just decide to show up at the door, tickets will be available in the box office. So
We say that.
Hopefully.
It's possible we
Yes.
could sell out.
Yeah.
Well,
We
probably
hope
want to
so.
buy
We
your
would love
tickets
to sell
online.
out. Yes.
At etix.com. Make sure that you go to the etix site. There have been some other sites when you Google it that will lead you to a different site, and it charges you a lot more with fees, etc. So make sure that you go through our local etix.com. You can find it on the Crockett, the Lawrenceburg Community Theater webpage. You can also find it on Lawrenceburg.
We have a page on TennesseeVacation.com under the events page that has a link to it, but also I would say the easiest way to find it is just go to our Facebook page, which is Lawrenceburg
And
Community
follow the
Theater.
link.
Oh, there you go. I
We've
didn't
got
think
links
about that.
posted on every one of our posts just to make sure everyone knows exactly where to go. So yeah.
So one of the things I'm excited about and is the matinees. Talk about that a little bit. Or can you? I mean, it's going to be Sunday only, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the matinees are, I feel like that's for people who don't want to get out at night. If you want to come after church or
Yeah,
whatever you're
perfect
doing
thing
on
after
Sunday
church.
morning and just come enjoy a show afterwards. And I really love the matinees. And we typically have a really great
have a
audience
great
on the
audience on
matinees.
the matinees, too.
They really get into the show,
Yeah.
believe it or not. You'd think it'd be your weekend crowd, but those Sunday matinee
afternoons.
people are really love to
So
come.
many people have obligations on Friday and Saturday night. The Sunday afternoons is the perfect time to come
Yeah.
see the show.
So things, I haven't been mayor in a while, so I don't know how things are at the Crockett Theater today. But back when I was mayor, you couldn't eat food there. So has that changed? Are you guys going to have popcorn or anything, or just
We are
bottled water, or
not.
what?
With the responsibility of having the facility, you have to have a cleanup crew too, and we
Yeah.
have a lot to do. And popcorn is wonderful to watch while you're during show, but it's hard to clean up.
It is a
afterwards.
mess, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So no, we may have water, but
Okay.
that will be it. That'll be it. No.
So I want to get in a little bit about the life of an actress and an actor a little bit, and you guys can talk about this. What is since you're getting ready for this big production, what is home life like? Are you walking around the house saying your lines? I know that Bob, your husband, has a huge
He's
role in
walking around
this.
the house saying his lines. He's walking around the house singing his songs. Yes.
Okay, so I thought there's got to be a bunch of Fred Flintstone. He's doing this yabba dabba doo stuff in here. It's a yibby dibby dobby dibby. I think it's so.
Bitty bitty bomb.
Bitty bitty bomb and all these things.
Whatever it is, Bob does it very well.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely leading up to the show, that's you're constantly running through your songs and stuff over and over and over in the car. And we play our songs in the car, and I try to get it in as much as possible. Just to
drive
keep it
time's a great
fresh.
time to
Yeah.
learn new
Yes.
music.
So if we see you going down the road, you're not going crazy. You're
No,
just
I'm
you're
just
singing.
practicing for the show.
You're practicing for the
Right.
show.
Hands in the air.
Well, I tell you, I'm excited. I am super excited about Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, we're very
I'm
excited.
excited about the work that the Lawrenceburg Community Theater does. I've always been a huge fan of Lawrenceburg Community Theater. I haven't been a part of it since the 80s, but I do support it fully. I love what everybody does. And what I really like more than anything else is I like talented people, and I like to watch people showcase their talents, and that is a great place to do that. And and we kid ourselves about, hey, we got to go to Nashville and see a good play, maybe at TPAC or something like that. That's not the truth at all. Being involved with the theater, I know the hard work that goes into it. I know the dedication that's there. And number one, I would say thank you for doing that and doing it for our community, because it really shows off, number one, our local talent, and it shows what our community is able to do. And you don't have to leave Lawrenceburg to get a good quality show. You can stay right here and do that. And Fiddler on the Roof is going to be a great example of that.
It is. People complain that there's nothing to do in Lawrence County. That's certainly not true. That is not true. You have an opportunity to do a lot of things. And I'm so proud that our community is pulling together. It seems like we have more events everywhere. There's a lot of things happening at Rotary Park. There's a good community of support, and that's why I love living here.
Yeah,
in South
absolutely.
County. You know the people that you do business with. You know the people you meet on the street and the grocery store, and those are some of the people that you'll see in the cast. We've laughed before and said that a lot of people that audition have only sang in the shower before. But you would be amazed at those people who have only sang in the shower, what they can do once
Listen,
you get them on stage.
my shower is a great sound chamber. I can't.
It's insulated.
My voice is not like it anywhere else. Period. So.
That you'll be amazed at what your friends and neighbors can do when you come and see them on stage.
Well,
It's really
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
We have teachers, we have a pastor, we have students, we have our youngest cast member is 9 years old. I think our oldest is maybe 79.
Yep.
And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're on stage dancing.
Very
So,
wide variety.
yeah.
And I have to say, with such a large cast, our choreographer, Marion Trimble, has done a beautiful job organizing all of that. Just having
Incorporating
50-something people
everybody into the
to get
dances.
together, to be in sync, and to do these very large dance numbers that we do. They're very traditional
Yeah.
Jewish dance numbers. They're very beautiful, and she's done an excellent job at pulling all that together. And like Cheryl said, it's like sometimes these people can do more than they think, and it's very impressive.
There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, especially, it's not just getting on stage and practicing where you've got to be and practicing your lines. And if I was on there, Jeff, I'd be going, line. That'd be,
And your last day to do that is tonight, Keith, if
Is
you
it?
show up
That's
for
right.
rehearsal. So, yes,
Oh, my
more lines
goodness.
after tonight.
Starting next week, we'll
can you
run the show.
can you
back
have that
as-
look in your eye or anything
You
like
can
that?
have the look, but you're
It's
on
not
your
gonna
own
help
at
you.
that point.
You have to pull up something from your memory. That's right.
Oh, me. But, obviously you didn't pick up the phone and say, hey, we're doing Fiddler on the Roof. Send us a bunch of Fiddler on the Roof costumes down here. Or did you? I don't know that. Did you?
No, we didn't. We have a lot of people, as Bethany said, that work behind the scenes. Wanda Mabe is our costume person. She has some help from.
Is she
Rachel
in this
Hughes.
production?
She is not.
Come
But
on,
she
Wanda.
has wo- she
She's-
has
I like to pick on
worked-
Wanda.
She has worked herself
Yes, I can
She works
guarantee
very
if she
hard.
if
Yeah,
she
you
works,
try to
she's working on anything. She's
Yes.
working hard on it.
When you try to costume 47 people with some of them have 3 or 4 costume changes, yes. Because some of our Russian dancers are also some of our Jewish dancers. So they're Russians in one scene and they're Jewish in the other. So that means costume changes. There are also Jewish people on stage. So that's 3 costume changes right there.
Right.
So that's about 7 people times 3 costumes times the 47 other people that are in it.
Or if you
So-
flip flop like I do, you become a ghost. And
I'm
a
telling
Jewish
you.
and Jewish person.
Look, and the reason I bring that up is that I think you get more appreciation for the show as an audience member. You get more appreciation for the show if you know some of the work that goes behind the scenes, and there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
There's a lot of work.
So, any live animals?
Well, none that we hope
Define
to
animals.
have.
No barn animals. I mean, there's.
No, we do have turtle. No, I'm just kidding. You never know what he's.
So
gonna
Bob's
do.
not going to be feeding the animals or anything when he's.
No, he
okay.
does. He does go feed the animals, but you don't see the animals.
Okay.
That's true. We also have some people that have participated in a great way. It's Katie and Corey Jewell and Philippe Fontenot. They put our set together. It's an amazing set when you see it. It's big. It's
Yeah.
a really big set, and we're very proud of it. They worked very hard to do that. So, as Bethany said, it does take a village to put a show together.
Sure.
We have somebody that does our set. We have someone that, and it's mostly all volunteer. So remember that too. We have somebody that does our set. We have somebody that helps with music. Katie Jewell has helped with the music, and Wanda has done the costumes. Marianne Trimble has done the choreographer. Bethany has done a lot of our promotion work. So, if you don't know about it, you can't get tickets to it. So Bethany has been awesome in
Yeah.
getting everything out on social media and on this radio station. So it does take a lot of people to get a lot
Yeah.
done.
Oh yes, and then our tech crew.
Oh, goodness.
Elizabeth Perry and
They're
James
amazing.
McGill and Katie Curley, Maggie Deal.
You probably work with
There's
some
so
of these
many-
people.
yes.
You may not know that they can do theater, but they do theater.
But I'm
Absolutely.
telling you, everyone has to work super hard. You know
Right,
this is
right.
not just if you're on stage. No matter where you're at, there's so much effort that goes into it, and
Yeah.
and all of that effort has kind of combined together to create this beautiful execution of the vision and everything. And it's always fun. I really enjoy this time of a show. It can get you practice and you practice and you practice and you practice to an empty theater, and finally at this point you're starting to think, wow, there's going to be people coming to this.
Yeah.
And so to me it's really exciting. And the week before, it's like you're practicing it as is, and you're like, this is what it's going to be like, and you kind of get an idea of what the end result's going to be, and it really is just like, oh wow, I can't believe that we created this from start to finish, and that everyone gets to come enjoy
I
it.
have a question.
Yeah.
Do you ever during the rehearsals and getting ready, do you ever have this feeling like, oh no, this is never going to come together?
Every time.
I honestly
I
have
think a
to
lot of
tell.
it's just our own.
Yeah.
I think it's just our own anxieties, though. I don't think it's.
I really
necessarily-
can't tell you with this cast how talented they are.
No.
I'm the director of the show, and I can tell you that I have never had that feeling. with
You
this
have
show.
not.
I have
Oh, wow.
not.
I was going to say,
I
maybe
have
that's a
not
subjective
had this
thing.
feeling.
No herding
They-
cats or nothing like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Herding
Well,
cats
see, that
a few
makes you the
times,
leader. The
but
leader thinks like that. But
Yes.
but if you're in the troops, you're going, oh my gosh, this is never going to work.
I have full. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. And as far as it all coming together, I haven't been too worried. I think it's you have your own anxieties when it comes to it. It's like, is it going to come together? But yeah, one of the things, everyone's so talented, and it always does.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, everybody, Cheryl's done such a good job, planning and organizing everything, and everything just comes together. And
Experience.
and that's why we practice as much as we do.
well, I
mean-
don't know about experience. I've had some good teachers in the past. I'll say that.
Hey, you're going to do great, and you already done great. It sounds like because it looks like everybody's ready to go. Let's.
I do
go
want to
ahead.
mention
Yeah,
a
go
couple of
ahead.
people that people buy tickets to come and see in these shows, and part of them are Kathy and Lynn Burns, Joey Riddle, and Kay Luffman. Those are some of our standard people that are in a lot of community theater shows, and people come in particular to see those people perform.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to mention those and make sure they were in there. Keith, again, we're going to have our show Fiddler on the Roof at the Crockett Theater July 7th, 8th, and 9th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. You can buy your tickets online at etix.com. You can go to the Lawrenceburg Community Theater Facebook page, and there's a direct link on there where you can buy your tickets, and we hope to see everyone there.
Oh, it's, and it's ETIX. Is that the
ETIX.
ETIX.com, etix.com. So what, we can talk about this. How much does it cost to go?
Well, for adults, it's $20, and for children, it's $12. I think 12 and under.
12 and under is
12 and under is
$12.
$12.
That's perfect.
And then, you go through the online tickets, and there'll be some taxes and stuff included.
Fees.
That's just maybe a few extra
what you have to
dollars.
pay
But the base
during-
ticket is
Yeah.
$20. Yeah.
So let me. What's it called? I'm drawing a blank here. What's it called whenever you get like a practice run in front of your families and friends before the show? Are y'all doing that?
We haven't even talked about that.
We usually do. That's usually kind of part of the routine. Is usually the Thursday night before we kind of. Every person can invite maybe one or two people from their
Just so we
family,
have a
just to
practice
have an
audience.
audience, because
Because the
when you
audience
add an
plays a huge
audience,
role,
it
especially in a
changes
comedy. This is not
everything.
really,
Yeah.
but
Because when you're, as much as the people that we practice in front of kind of laugh and kind of mimic some clapping and stuff to
Yeah.
help us get the timing. Throwing an audience in there, you really
You never
gotta-
know what the audience is
You
going to
don't
find
know.
funny.
Yeah.
How long they're going to
You're
react
exactly-
to
or-
So
something.
it really helps
Yeah.
to
I
kind
can-
of get your feet wet a little bit before.
I can remember a guy, the actors on stage have their cues they have to go off. But if there's a guy in the audience laughing like a mule, I mean,
That would be you.
yeah, no, it's not me. But those kind of things happen, and you've got to
They
regain
do.
your composure and
It's
all
very
that kind of
hard.
stuff.
I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
So,
I don't know. Do you guys want to take a phone call? I'm not sure if they're
Sure.
calling about this or not.
Oh,
They
yeah,
could.
we'll talk about it.
We'll
Just
see.
say hi.
Hey, good morning. You're on WDXE with us.
Yes, I was listening to an interview yesterday. I don't know when the interview was taken,
Uh-huh.
but it was with the owner of WLX, WDXE.
Yes.
I think his name was Roger.
Roger Wright. Yeah, we interviewed him yesterday.
Okay, how can I get back to that interview?
Well, you can check out, if you have Facebook, go to Facebook and look up WDXE, and the same thing on YouTube, and you can find it.
Okay, he was such an interesting man, and I thought that was so amazing how he got started.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for listening, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Well, we got a
that's
lot of
good.
comments on the one yesterday, and y'all will too.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all will too. So, and by the way, we didn't even mention that you can call in and talk to the
Yeah.
guest here at 766-9393.
or if you'd like to be a part of the next production, how
Yeah.
does somebody get a
Well, I
hold
was
of you?
just fixing to ask Kevin if we've made him want to audition for the next show.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Come on. Hey, I can tell you right now, though, Kevin, he's got this great character. He's not just my best mechanic in the shop, and I say that sort of loosely
Because I'm sitting here.
Yeah, because he's here. But anyway,
That's comforting because we get our car worked on at Heritage. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, yeah, I remember your
Yeah.
car all the time.
yeah. So ask for Kevin. So, hey, unless it's a transmission, ask for Jack. But anyway. Kevin he's got this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in the shop. And so
So who are you this morning?
he's
Are you Jekyll or Hyde?
cool hand today.
I don't know. That's the first I've heard of this. I didn't know that was any different any other time.
Most people don't know their dual personalities. I'm revealing this to him for the first time.
Well, I appreciate
But
that.
if you want to really express that person inside of you that you never get to express, the stage is a great place to do
Oh,
it.
it's
It is.
wonderful.
Hey, we'll just put in a commercial here for our Christmas program. Last year, about 5 or 6 of us got together at our dining room table and threw together a Christmas show. We wanted to do a gift for the community. Since we didn't have Christmas pops anymore, we wanted to do something to give back to the community. And we thought, hey, the community theater can do one. So we just threw a show together. Well, it sold out. and we had an amazing time. It was so much fun. Everybody loves Christmas. The theater was packed. People had such a good time. So we're bringing it back again this year. Last year it was called It's Christmas, Y'all, and this year it's going to be It's Christmas Again, Y'all.
I like that.
If you want to get involved, just watch our Facebook page, Lawrenceburg Community Theater Facebook page. We'll start putting out information about it in the 1st of September. So if this makes you want to be, if coming to see Fiddler on the Roof makes you think that you want to get on stage and sing and perform, Christmas would be a great time to do that. Songs that you know, things you're familiar with. A lot of fun. So,
Have you got any roles where you just go get on stage and be goofy? I mean, that's probably what I would probably.
We actually had several of those skits last year, and you'll be perfect in it.
Yes.
So
There's a role for everyone.
I'm too tall, I think. I'm too tall to be on stage to do that.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We
No.
had
So-
some kind of similar to your height, I'd say. Yeah, you're good.
We find a place
You can't
for
use
you.
that excuse. We'll find a place
Oh, well.
for you.
Yeah, our 79-year-old is probably taller than you.
Okay, well,
Are you looking for a singing role too? Or?
no.
come on.
Perhaps Keith, you and I could be Laurel and Hardy.
Hey, I didn't think about that. Exactly.
And you've got plenty of time to come up with your skits. You know, you've got from now till December, so
You can smack me around all day.
yeah, y'all can rehearse on the radio next week.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, it has been a pleasure for you guys to be here today. Anything else you want to say about the theater or about the production itself? I've learned a lot today, so that's awesome.
Well, thank you for having us. And I'd just like to thank Cheryl for having the vision to bring this to life. When I first saw Fiddler on the Roof, it was the Broadway touring version, but it was actually in Los Angeles in 2019. And I'd never seen the show before. I was kind of, I don't know, I must have been.
You're young.
I didn't watch the movie, hadn't seen the show, and I was visiting out in Los Angeles and went to the Broadway version out there. And I was just hooked from the get-go. I loved it. I was like, where's this been all my life?
Yeah.
Like, this is wonderful. And I didn't realize how much of a variation there was, and there's like humor and there's heartfelt things, and there's just a mixture of all kinds of emotions.
laugh,
Oh, yeah.
and you'll cry.
You're going to laugh, and you're going to, feel sad, and you're going to feel happy, and I think that's the beauty of it. But
Yeah.
when I first saw it, I fell in love with the show, and so, when Cheryl started mentioning bringing it to Lawrenceburg Community Theater, I was just ecstatic. So, very excited about it. I think the audience will love it. We're having a great time. And I think, like you said, you can tell that we're out there having fun. And I think that, it's fun to have everyone come and join our party that we've been having for the last 3 months.
Yeah. And doing theater, you get into this family of, you have a connection with people that you don't have anywhere else. It's kind of like being in a church choir. You know them from choir, you know them, from people from all walks of life come in, and you don't, that's your connection is theater. That's where you've got, and that's your little theater family, and it's a good group. I also did want to say that Fiddler on the Roof has some of your favorite songs in it. I know my mom used to play the organ and piano for people in the 60s and 70s at weddings, and I remember every wedding we went to had Sunrise Sunset, and that's one of the most popular songs, I guess, from the show.
Yep.
If I Were a Rich Man, Sabbath Prayer, and Atevka, To Life.
Yes.
I like
Keith, you might even sing in that song. You would have fun in that one. But it has some of your favorite songs that you may not know came in this musical, but you'll be familiar with it anyway.
Okay. Wow.
Thank you so much for having
I'm
us.
excited. I'm excited about coming and seeing it. So
Great. We're excited that we have this in Lawrenceburg for you to come and see. It's been
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. So,
Yep.
listen, I'm not going to be at the office today, but drop by my office. I have an envelope there for you, and you know what it is.
All right. I'll be
thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us this morning, Keith.
There you
Sharing
go.
your time. And Jeff, thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Kevin,
Thank you for having
we challenge
us.
you to try out next time.
Well,
Get your song
I'll do
together.
this.
You can join their skit.
I will
Okay.
make this commitment. If Kevin will, I will.
All right. I'm in.
Here, they're
I'll make
coming
him
next
do it.
Christmas again, y'all.
You ladies be careful.
Can you find your way out? Well, you had a walk-in
no,
Uber.
We'll just keep walking.
Okay, there you go.
Just stay left.
Thank you so much.
See y'all. Have a good rest of the day.
The Keith Durham Hour continues.
Wow.
Great guest you had there, Bob.
I'm telling you, wasn't that awesome?
All right. Very good. Very good. And what else you got
I
in
don't
store
even know.
for us?
I don't even know how to segue into what we were going to talk about today
Yeah.
from that because it's like going from good to bad, and I don't want to do that, But anyway, I'm sort of taking it easy today too. I'm going to take the seniors at our church on a trip to Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Y'all ever been to Bell Buckle?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So
They
tell
got
me
some
what,
kind of festival going on right now, don't they?
I think it was last weekend or 2 weekends
The
ago.
Moon Pine RC
Yeah.
Cola.
That's
Moon
it.
Pine RC Cola.
Yeah.
So why is that? Are they made over there or what?
Do what?
Are they made in Bell Buckle or something? Or
No,
what?
I
No,
don't think so.
everybody in Bellville likes moon pies and RC Cola.
Well, they're pretty much everybody in Lawrenceburg, ain't
Well, we need to have a festival
we
here.
didn't have a festival, but
We
that's
could
okay.
have a Little Debbie's festival. That's
Hey, I'm
got
with
it?
that, yeah.
I mean, I'm in. Sign me up.
Little Debbie's and Sundrop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Give it to all the kids.
So, I saw the pieces they brought up from the wreckage yesterday and the tragedy that happened on the submarine. Jeff, can you imagine being
I
down
can't.
there and
I can't.
and something like that take place? So it's just, and then, paying for the trip is secondary now, it's because nobody's life is worth that.
No.
But my goodness. But I saw some of the wreck yesterday and the wreckage that they pulled out, and it's just, I guess it was confirmation for me, because pretty much unless you own the type of equipment that the military owns and or maybe some of these merchant vessels own, you pretty much have to take their word for it, that, oh, yeah, it blew up and
Yeah.
exploded
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever. But now seeing the wreckage yesterday sort of said, yeah, that's what
I
happened,
haven't seen it, but anyway, tragic deal.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible in every sense of the way. And what it's going to do? It's going to stifle that type of exploration. I think for a while. I mean, who's going to volunteer this week to go? I mean,
Well, I had pretty much resolved not to anyway. But
oh, yeah. Even I'm with you. Jacques Cousteau used to do those kinds of things.
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah. But anyway,
He's got his own brand of underwear now, doesn't he?
he does. I
Jacques
didn't know.
Cousteau. I'm just
Are
kidding.
you being serious? I don't know if you're being serious or
He's
what.
fixing to go buy some.
Oh, me.
They're waterproof. You'll love it. Goes with your retirement outfit
I
you're
don't
wearing
know why I
today.
even said that.
I don't either. So let me see if I can log in here. I just can't get over. I think this production of Fiddler to the Roof is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go. Anyway, some of the things I wanted to talk about are, just the way, and I don't want to get caught up in it because, just the way America tends to be going right now. In my opinion, it's a spiritual battle that we're
Well,
in.
there's no doubt.
Even that we can blame it on anything else we want to blame it on, but it's a spiritual battle that we're in, and it's just the pure lack of us following out what is the greatest commandment. And Jesus himself told us the greatest commandment is to love the Lord with all our heart and to love our neighbors as ourselves. And
Yes.
to me, the love factor is not there. But with that being said, we have to realize we do, or I don't want to talk you guys into this. You may have your own opinions, but we live in a racist country, and the reason I say that is because even now, as a white Christian male, which we identify as, we can see the things that. Are you not feeling a little bit downtrodden right now about the America is against white Christian males? I mean, some of the things that they come up with. Yeah, I mean, to me, I feel like now I'm becoming a second-class citizen. Well, think about this. Most black folks, especially if you grew up in the earlier years of America, felt that way every day of their life. And so, and whether it was for whatever reason it was, but it all boils down to that we don't have love for one another. And I would just like to state right now to people that are listening, maybe you're watching online, if you harbor hard feelings in your heart for someone because of the color of their skin, I'll just tell you right now that you are wrong. I think the Lord would tell you that you're wrong to do that. If you're harboring hard feelings because of color of somebody's skin or maybe where they come from, that is a wrong thing to do. And what I wanted to do today, Jeff, a little bit to get into it was to talk about how we as a country got to where we are. And I feel like that we got to where we are today, and you guys can chime in anytime you want to. I think we got to where we are today because it was what we were taught. Now, listen, my mom and dad never taught that. In fact, my dad would absolutely, he's passed away now, but my dad would absolutely be on you in a second if you talked bad about somebody, especially about something they had that they couldn't help or had no, you can't help what color your skin are. You can't help if you're born with a deformity or whatever like that. That's no reason at all, But anyway, what I'm saying is, for the most part, our parents taught us right, but the television didn't. And most of the things that we see, or most of the things and the opinions that we have, and I can only speak for myself here, has been formed by what I have been exposed to and saw on TV. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that or not, but.
Well, you and I, in our age category, you're younger than me. Yeah. But we're of a similar generation. Yeah. And we're a TV generation.
That's right.
We grew up with TV, and we're influenced by it. And now the influences are even more amplified because there's media at our face all the time. Right. And so the influence of media is just dominant in our culture.
It is. And so here's where I want to steer the conversation. We won't get nowhere near done with it today. Media does do that for us. In fact, it to me, it helps shape our opinions on a lot of things. So, I'm a conservative. I consider myself a conservative, white Christian American, and I don't look at you if you've got a different skin color, and I don't try to classify you as that, as something different, But what happens is that my opinions are formed by what I see on television. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about the things that's going on at the border. The just influx of people that are coming across the border. Right. Now, depending on what channel on TV you watch, you may have a different opinion on what's going on at the border.
Exactly, that's true.
So, I think what's going on at the border is horrible, because the people that are coming, I don't think they're being treated humanely for the most part. But here's where what do you think? I mean,
well, what they're doing is illegal.
I agree.
And so what do you think?
So here's I don't like illegal.
So what have you watched that you think they're being treated inhumanely?
Well, you can watch any type of, if you go to CNN, you would think that they're cutting cake for them and everything. And welcome to America. Yeah. When they're having a party, you watch Fox, you get a totally different viewpoint of that, and I tend to watch Fox. And so my viewpoint's a little bit skewed. But even before then, think about this. In my mind, I already have an opinion formed of the people coming across the border. All right? So in my mind, my opinion is that most of the people coming across the border are bad people. All right? And I got that from TV because the only people south of the border I saw were always attacking the good guys, yeah. if you know what I mean.
I can understand your point in the media influence in that and all that, but I look at it this way. I think that if we were handling the border correctly, then I don't think it has anything to do with race whatsoever. We're a sovereign nation, and a sovereign nation should have secure borders. And if it was known worldwide that there was only one way to enter this country, and it was through a legal process, and if it was known and well known that was established and you weren't going to get in any other way, then there would be an organized way to get in the country, and race would have nothing to do with it.
I agree. And Jeff, I agree with that 100%.
But what they've done is they've not secured the border, and they've allowed illegal entry, and then when someone tries to shut it down, they call it racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, it's just like, I mean, our county has lines. We have county lines, and there are differences from one county to the other because there's lines.
Right.
Now, they're not secured lines. I understand all that. But then our state does.
Yeah.
We got a state border, and there's different laws in this state, and there might be in another state. And so we've got a country that is surrounded by a line somewhere.
Yeah.
And so there's a way in and a way out, and it should be that way. But to just play it completely loosey-goosey and then let it be known that it's going to be that way, and then if anybody tries to shut it down, they're accused of just not letting them in because of color of their skin. That's a bad way to put this. It's not that way.
I know it's not that way, but think about this. And I agree with that 100%. There's got to be. I mean, there is a legal way to get in the country and everything like that, and I'm cool with that. That's perfect. I'm not even arguing that
Right.
fact.
And
What
I don't
I'm
blame the
arguing
people
is-
for trying to get in. I don't blame
Right.
them at all. I don't think ill of most of them. There's families. I see them. I watch them on TV. I see that, and I feel badly for them. But the reason that that's happening to them is because we've let a policy stay in place that says if you can sneak across and get in, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Rather than it being worldwide known that you cannot sneak across, we're not going to let you.
Yeah.
And then there's a way to get in, and then that would stop that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the point I'm trying to make is this: is that from the conservative side of things, if you think about it, the conservatives are mad about the issue. All right.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the policies that we've set in place to make this happen.
I agree. Me personally, I'm not mad at them either. But think about why, as a whole, we're mad about the immigration issue, which is a huge issue.
Right.
Why are we mad at? Because I believe in our minds we've got them painted as bad people. They're not bad people, or most of them aren't. There are some bad people in there, but it would be just like saying, hey, just because so-and-so is from the South, everybody from the South are bad people. That's wrong, too, and that's part of the conversation that we want to get into. But, most of the time we think, well, that shouldn't be going on down there. We don't think about it, well, it shouldn't be going on because of the humanitarian side of it. We think about, well, it shouldn't be going on because there's bad people that's coming across the border.
That is the influence of the corrupt media.
That
at
is
this
correct.
point. That is
That
the
was-
influence of the corrupt media at this point, pitting people against one another and saying these people think you're bad, and you. That is the influence of the corrupt media.
Exactly. So, in your mind, when you picture somebody come across the border, what does that person look like? Do you know there's a lot of white folks coming across the border? Is that the people you've got pictured coming through your mind?
The idea would be you'd think that most of them are of a Mexican background, but they're not. There's a lot of them from all over the world
That's
that are coming
correct.
through there.
Yeah, I mean they're
coming from everywhere.
They're taking a ship to South America or to Middle America, and they're coming up.
It's because it's worldwide known if you can sneak across the southern border and get into the States that you'll be all right.
You don't have to sneak across.
Well, I know, but I mean that's
just show up and
walk
but
across.
that's the policies that we've got in place, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. There's a legal way already of becoming a citizen of the United States and immigrating here, and I think it's a good thing. I'm just saying that the media helps to steer our thoughts even on issues like immigration.
Oh, yeah.
And it steers our thoughts and this is why I try not to watch the news as much. I found lately, if I'm going to follow the direction of Christ and to love the Lord and to love my neighbor as myself, I can't watch the news because I get so opinionated on things, Jeff. And right now they've drawn my opinion on everybody that's coming across the border as bad people. And they're for the most part, they're just good people caught in a bad situation and bad policy, like you say. So the same thing happens with has happened over the years with black people in America, and we're not going to talk about this for a second, and for the American Indians, the Native Americans. You think about, well, this is a society that we live in, and it's free, and I agree with that. But it hasn't been fair and equal, and I know that sounds like a liberal standpoint, but the reality of it is what it is. And when we talk about that we're from a TV generation and TV has shaped our minds, I've got some articles I want to read next week. I read an article where even on the Indian reservations, which are probably some of the worst properties in America that they've been pushed to. There's things that's going on there that we'll get into, but even on there, when they watch shows, they don't want to be Indians. They want to be the cowboys, if you know what I mean. And so, when kids watch these TV shows and they go out and play with their friends, they want to be the cowboys, because the cowboys are the good guys and the Indians are the bad guys, if you know what I mean. So when I was growing up, Indians were the bad guys. In fact, I might have mentioned this last week, but I saw a movie.
Man, we're going to have to work on you.
I know it.
We're going to have to work on you. I liked being the Indians.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I remember going to Cherokee on a vacation when I was a kid. We'd come back, we all wanted to be Indians.
Well, yeah, I did the same thing.
And all that stuff. And I think you're right in a certain degree, to a certain degree, that, we've had the good guy, bad guy, good, and our history has, kind of brought that forth. But I think that, especially in recent years, there's been a great enlightenment to a lot of people that it's not quite that way anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that altogether. I guess, and this is the point that we're going to get at next week, and Kevin's going to do some research on it too.
I'm on it.
I'm glad.
He's on it. But, we talked about these removal of statues and things because it stirs up emotion about how people have been treated in America. And we talk about the influence television has had and influence people. It's taught us that Indians are bad people. It taught us that black people are second-class people and things like that. And it's not just my opinion. There's articles after article that are written backing these things up. So I guess I'm going to get on the stump next week about if we want to really have a revival in America. And I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a revival. You're going to have to take down the Hollywood sign. Because the Hollywood sign, to me, is that one thing that not just America sees, but the whole world sees, that has Hollywood has influenced the world more than any other thing. But yet their sign stands proudly up there. And when I look at that sign, I see cultures that have been left out for years or treated as second class. Women treated as objects. And you and I both know, growing up, I lived in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, but I knew the simple fact that if you were going to make it in Hollywood as a young woman, you had to sleep your way to the top. Now, there were shows on TV that women jumping on trampolines was the highlight of the show. And it just exploited women, but yet somehow as a nation we celebrate that. And if we're going to be serious about making a change, I think we got to start at the root of it. And so that's the point I'm going to try to make next week. And with the
movie world, the Hollywood world that you're talking about, it's a powerful, powerful medium.
It is.
We're all sucked into it and watching it all the time. Movies, TV shows, commercials, all the stuff that's thrown at us. And you got to exercise some wisdom in what you're seeing. So,
and we'll bring up these points next week, but if you don't think media influences the way you live your life, I would ask the question, Jeff, did you get in the water at the beach the next time you went after you watched Jaws?
After Jaws, I didn't even want to get in the bathtub.
That's exactly right. So, I mean, there's more people.
Of course, I didn't like getting in the bathtub much anyway back then. So.
There's probably more people in America right now that believe that a zombie apocalypse is going to happen, even more than folks that believe that Jesus Christ is going to come back. And I say that loosely, but, you wouldn't believe the TV has us situated that zombies are real now, and things like that. And
COVID, that's what they were saying COVID was going to turn into. Everybody was going to be zombies. I remember that.
We have to a certain point.
Well, you got to, the bottom line of this is a Christian principle to guard your heart.
Exactly right.
To guard your heart and hopefully exercise godly wisdom in what you're seeing and understanding.
Yeah. So one of the things I've been saying is start your day off and make it a great day at the beginning. And if you're starting your day off with watching the news, I don't care what side of the news you're watching, you're starting off the wrong way. Start it off with a verse of scripture and
Right.
and it'll be a totally different story for you.
Right.
We'll pick up next week. It's good to be here today.
You really dug in.
Well, I'm just scratching the surface.
You got a big subject. You're going to tackle that one, buddy.
Well, I'm just going to state a few things, and I'm going to say, well, take it down. So
This
you
has
heard
been
it
the
here
Keith
first.
Durham Hour, man. We've enjoyed having you. Great having the theater folks, Keith. Good to see you
wasn't
both.
that awesome?
And
That was neat.
You'll be back next Thursday.
Oh yeah, Lord willing, the creeks don't rise,
That's right.
Yeah.
and the
Next
church
Thursday.
don't rise. That's what you always say. don't you?
That's right. And of course, I'll be back in the morning with the Wake Up Show. Good Lord willing, and we'll start another day together. We're heading into the 4th of July
This
weekend.
is WDXE,
Yeah.
W287 AA,
And, God bless everybody.
FD Lawrenceburg. Broadcast services of Prospect Communications.
What will Hunter Biden tell them? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The president's son going under oath this morning in Wilmington, Delaware, in a lawsuit over his infamous laptop filed by computer repair shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac, who gave it to the FBI and
is accusing Hunter Biden of defamation after the president's son alleged Mac Isaac invaded his privacy by illicitly sharing his personal data from a laptop left in his shop. Mac Isaac claims Hunter Biden dropped off the laptop in 2019 and never picked it up after 90 days, making Mac Isaac the new owner after numerous attempts to contact Biden to pick it up.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The laptop's contents have added to investigation.